All right, a statue that was handcrafted in northern Italy has made its way to downtown Kansas City.
The statue depicts the Blessed Mother Mary and baby Jesus, and it was installed this morning at 12th and Broadway. Fox 4's Kelly Peltier is live there and has been showing us this progress all morning. Hey, Kelly, good morning.
Hey, good morning, you guys. Yeah, it's been really cool to see that progress here at 12th and Broadway all morning. About 7 a.m., we showed you kind of the progression when they had that crane hoisting up the statue. It's about 8.5 feet tall, almost 3,000 pounds. It's now officially in its base over there on the corner. Take a look at some of that video that we got this morning as they were actually getting it installed. It's sitting on top of an 11-foot tall pillar of black African granite, and it was handcrafted by two artists in northern Tuscany, Italy. The installation marks the final element of an improvement plan that the Catholic Cathedral of the Immaculate Conception has gone through over the last 2 years. We spoke to Bishop James Johnson with the diocese this morning. He says as part of the project, they've also gotten rid of old rundown buildings and replaced them with the $15 million Bishop Hogan Center that's built here right next to us. It will serve the Catholic Church here in Kansas City and surrounding communities. He says it's meant to be a beacon of hope and love for everyone who sees it.
Remind people that no matter how harsh or cold the world can be, there's really the love of a Heavenly Mother that everyone has, that Jesus gave to all of us, but also the love of Christ. And so it's meant to be an image of tenderness and warmth for everyone that sees it.
Really cool message for folks who'll be able to see this, drive down, or even walk up to it here at 12th and Broadway. They also installed some lights underneath that granite, so when it comes nighttime, when it's dark, it'll be really cool. The Mary and Jesus statue will also be illuminated, so really cool addition down here in downtown Kansas City with a great message for everyone. Guys, back to you.
All right, Kelly, thank you.
It's in front of this place, the Cathedral of the Immaculate Conception, and it's, I guess, Catholic in nature. And I'm going to get a video of the statue they just unveiled. That's supposed to be a statue of Jesus Christ and baby Jesus. That's the statue. That's it. What do y'all think about that? In front of a Catholic cathedral. But first of all, let me tell y'all something. These Catholics got it all wrong. They worship Mary, they pray to Mary, they pray to angels. They don't pray to the Lord in the name of his only begotten Son, Jesus Christ. And second of all, when Jesus comes back, which is going to be very soon, when he comes back, he's not going to come back as no defenseless baby. He's going to come back for war. You know, so, yeah. I just had to come down here to see what they had down here, what they doing. Oh, seriously, you know, people are such weirdos now. Like, would you go to a church just to deface this, behead this statue? That's so weird. That's so stupid. I posted the news clip of here about the news story about them, you know, doing that to the statue. But I'm like, what? I wish they had cameras so we could see just what idiot did that. Was it somebody that just had too much time on their hands, or was it somebody that had a beef with God or something, or did they go to the church and they didn't like something that the church told them? No telling. But that's got to be a pretty wicked person to go to a church and deface or, you know, do something to vandalize the church. I mean, come on, I don't care what religion it is, whether it's a mosque, a synagogue, or a cathedral, or just a regular little old storefront Baptist church. Why would you go to a religious institution and vandalize it? Unless you are seriously of your father the devil. It's just this world is just wicked, man. That's why Why do y'all think we keep having all these earthquakes and stuff? Every day we're having earthquakes. Every day, all over the world. California, Las Vegas just had an earthquake. Then the day before yesterday, Los Angeles had an earthquake. Los Angeles and San Diego. These are 4.5, 5.0 earthquakes that are happening back to back all over. And America is getting them even more. I'm telling you, man, people, they think this stuff is a game. They think it's a joke. They keep playing with God, man. And it's just, these end times, it's real. It gets realer every day. But yeah, man, we had two different beheadings. Well, no, we had one statue that was built, which is still an idol. Catholicism, I mean, they always get all these relics and these statues and these monuments and these fancy cathedrals and all this stuff, like the Sistine Chapel, when you go to the Vatican, and they got all this stuff and all this expensive artwork and statues and all this stuff. But man, that's just the disrespect is just really getting blatant. They getting outwitted, man, with this evil stuff. And wonder why God keeps shaking the ground. But he's gonna do even worse than that. Because we're still waiting on Iran to attack Israel, which is actually what is prophesied in Ezekiel 38. It said that that's going to happen, that kings of the north are going to attack Israel with its allies. And that's just exactly what's about to happen. That's what everybody is waiting now. Because Iran is going to attack Israel, and Russia is one of Iran's biggest allies. And they are supplying, something else down here. They're supplying Iran with weapons, just as America is providing Israel with weapons and money, and also we're doing the same for Ukraine. But yeah, it's about to happen any day now with the war. World War III is about to kick off, because as soon as Iran strikes Israel, it's on. And that's going to affect all of us. It's going to affect everybody all over the world. It's going to affect the cost of gas, and just, things are going to really get worse when this war finally kicks off. It ain't if it's going to kick off, it's a matter of when now, and that's going to be any day. So yeah, y'all, I'm gonna post that story up here. I'm gonna post a story of the news story of the statue that they built, which is an idol still. Like I said, that's the idol of the Virgin Mary, because Catholics revere Mary and they consider her to be above Jesus Christ, and she's not. And Catholics pray to angels, and they pray to saints, and they pray to Mary. That's why they say Hail Mary. That's why their religion is not the same as Christianity. But yeah, I'm gonna post those stories up there so y'all can see. They erected one idol and they tore down another at these Catholic churches. And I just let y'all know, man, this is stuff back to back happening. Sign of the times, end times. But the Holy Bible, that book is so doggone accurate and on point. It called all this stuff 2,000 years ago. So now this battle that is about to happen, don't get it confused with Armageddon. This is not the war that's about to happen. This World War III is not Armageddon. Armageddon happens at the very end, after the tribulation, the rapture, the tribulation, and everything. That's going to be the final battle. That's Armageddon is in Revelation. But this battle that Ezekiel foretold or prophesied is this is the first war between Gog and Magog. This is the first war, not Armageddon. Now Gog and Magog is going to fight in Armageddon too. But this first war that we're about to enter into, this World War III, this is Gog and Magog, and it's happening just the way Ezekiel prophesied it was going to happen. All of these countries, Syria, Iran, Russia, China, all of these Arab countries and Russia, they are all in North Korea, they're all going to click up together and they're going to come out against Israel. So that's happening. That's going to happen any day now. But remember, Ezekiel had predicted that Hamas was going to attack Israel, just as it did October 7th, I believe. They attacked them just like the Bible said they would. So just keep that in mind, that this war that's about to kick off is Gog and Magog, but it's not Armageddon. Armageddon hasn't happened yet, but it's still an end time battle that was prophesied in the Bible. So be on the lookout. We're just waiting any day now. As soon as Iran attacks, they're saying this week that Iran is going to hit Israel for assassinating those Hamas and Hezbollah leaders. It was 3 of them total that got assassinated. One last name was Shakir, Ishmael, Anaya, and Samir something, Saeed or something like that. It was 3 different generals that was attacked over the past 2 weeks. Israel hit all 3 of them, assassinated them. So Iran said, we're not going to let that go unpunished. So that's what they're waiting on, is the retaliatory attack on Israel for killing those 3 generals. Those whatever they are, they killed them. And but they're not going to. The bottom line is that they're going to try to go to war with Israel, but they will not prevail. Now, as far as with Russia or the kings of the north, some of those countries are going to get defeated because they're not going to be able to attack Israel and not come out, everybody comes out unscathed. Because some of those countries are still going to survive. Probably Russia and China are probably still going to survive. But Iran and Syria and all those other little small countries, they might get obliterated. Because once America gets in it, NATO's going to get in it. Once NATO's in it, it's all bets are off. So some of those countries are not going to survive World War III. They're going to get completely obliterated. And also, a thing that we need to worry about over here in America is that because of this migrant crisis and what's going on over here in our country, there's going to be a lot of sleeper cells activated once this world war kicks off. Now, I understand from my research on sleeper cells and the way they activate or the way they operate is that they enter into the country legally most of the time. Like, they'll enter in like all these Indians and Arabs that's entering in on student visas and work visas, and they go. That's how they did 911. They entered into the country legally, and America let them go to school, learn how to fly planes, and they became pilots. And guess what they did? Bam! Hit those Twin Towers and killed 3,000 people. So that's what America does. They let these people come into the country legally. They allow them to set up businesses and, get good jobs. They come in as engineers and doctors and all these really good paying jobs where they can fund these terrorist organizations. They sending money home because they're making good money over here in America. And a lot of the Arab countries have got money anyway because that's oil money. They're billionaires anyway, like the Bin Laden family and Iran and Libya and all those countries rich in oil. They have money to fund the sleeper cells anyway. So what happens is with the sleeper cells is that they come over illegally, and the best way that they can throw people off, and this is China and Arabs and any sleeper cell. I don't care, what part of the world they're from. They enter in legally. They get jobs and houses and businesses and go to school and get degrees, and they operate under the radar for years as law-abiding regular citizens. And they're all the time. They papering up and they plot, strategize. And then when it's time to activate, they commit whatever terrorist attack, over here, whether it's bombing buses, bombing buildings, suicide bomb, you name it, the World Trade Center, whatever. They'll carry out, they'll activate and they'll carry out terrorist attacks here in America within our borders because they're allowed to enter over here so freely. And what's happening now is with these migrants that's coming in from South America, they're going to come over here, and what's going to happen over in England and over in the UK, where they're having this war now between the native Englanders and the British people against the migrants. They're having a full-blown race war over there now. And that's going to happen over here in America because they are letting these migrants come over here, cross the borders, enter over here illegally, and then they're giving the migrants benefits, free benefits, where people that are born over here, Americans, poor people that's struggling, living paycheck to paycheck, can't get the help that these migrants are getting. But these migrants can come over here and they can get free housing, free health care, free EBT, free food stamp, all that stuff. They can get all that stuff. They don't have to be over here a year, and they come right across the border illegally and get stuff that Americans cannot get. So what's going to happen is this stuff is a powder keg and it's going to blow, because that's what the UK, the people over in the UK, that's what they're writing about. And those riots are still going on right to this day. I'm going to post a clip of that too. But they're having a full-blown race war, religious war, because they're saying that a lot of the migrants over there, they're saying they're Muslim or Arab or whatever, and they're coming from Middle East and Africa, and those Brits are over there cutting up, acting a fool. They are burning down the migrant hotels and everything because they're mad. They said we are losing our country. These migrants can come over here and get all these resources, and we can't get nothing. We over here struggling. So they're right now to this day. It's been going on for about 2 weeks, and what kicked it off is that a black Rwandan 17-year-old, I think they said it was 17, stabbed 10 white people and killed 3 little white girls that were attending like a Taylor Swift dance class over in England. Killed those babies. I don't know if this person was crazy or if he was a part of a terrorist organization or he just snapped. I don't know what was wrong with this evil person that killed those 3 little girls, but that's what kicked off the race war, because they thought that this person was a migrant because he was from Rwanda. But in fact, they come to find out, they said that he was born over there. His parents were immigrants. They were, African immigrants from Rwanda, but he was born over there in the UK. But the white people were saying because he stabbed 10 white people, they are saying that he was a migrant, and that's why they're burning down the migrant hotels and stuff and having these race wars that's going on right now. And that's what's going to happen over here in America, because they have let this border crisis over here get so out of control. What's going to happen is they're going to keep busing those migrants to these sanctuary cities and straining resources for the people that are already struggling. And what they're going to do is people are going to start getting pissed off. Just like those people up in Chicago, those black people in those poor communities where they're dumping those migrants are mad. They are, and they're ready to start rioting. And I'm telling you, it's only a matter of time. So, but yeah, I'm rambling. But if you, in this area where I'm at now, on Armour in Kansas City, this is like between Truce and probably like Southwest Traffic Way, you go up Armour in all of these apartments, you mainly see Middle Eastern Arab people. There's a few blacks and a lot of white people, because a lot of them have returned to the city. The reverse white flight gentrification thing is happening in the city too. But you see an influx of Middle Eastern and Asian and Hispanic immigrants and migrants.
A local church is searching for vandals after their statue was damaged. It happened at the St. Anthony Catholic Church off of Benton Boulevard last night. The church posted these photos on Facebook saying someone vandalized their prayer garden, damaging the Virgin Mary statue. We checked so far, no official reports have been filed with Kansas City, Missouri police.
What are Gog and Magog? We're going to answer that question. You can also discover more on GotQuestions.org. Historically speaking, Magog was a grandson of Noah. His descendants settled to the far north of Israel, likely in Europe and northern Asia. Magog seems to be used to refer to northern barbarians in general, but likely also has a connection to Magog the person. The people of Magog are described as skilled warriors. Gog and Magog appear in Ezekiel 38 through 39 and in Revelation 20 verses 7 through 8. While these two passages use the same names, a close study of Scripture clearly demonstrates that they do not refer to the same people and events. The events are separated by at least 1,000 years. In Ezekiel's prophecy, Gog will be the leader of a great army that attacks the land of Israel, which is peaceful and unsuspecting at the time. Gog is described as the land of Magog, the prince of Rosh, Meshech, and Tubal. When will Ezekiel's battle of Gog and Magog occur? There are a couple of theories. Before the tribulation begins. This view points to the fact that after the battle, the people of Israel will be burning the enemy's weapons for 7 years and spend over 7 months burying the dead. That length of time most likely requires the battle to be fought before the tribulation and possibly before the rapture of the church, during the first part of the 7-year tribulation. This view hinges on the fact that Israel is at peace when the attack begins. The security Israel enjoys is assumed to be the result of Israel's covenant with the Antichrist at the beginning of the tribulation. According to Ezekiel, Magog will not win. God will intervene to preserve Israel. There shall be a great earthquake. Every man's sword will be against his brother, and God will pour down torrents of rain, hailstones, and burning sulfur on Gog and his troops and on the many nations with him. The result is that nations will see God's greatness and holiness. Gog and Magog are mentioned again in Revelation 27 through 8. The duplicated use of the names Gog and Magog is to show that these people demonstrate the same rebellion against God as those in Ezekiel. It is similar to someone today calling a person the devil because he or she is sinful and evil. We know that the person is not really Satan, but because that person shares similar characteristics, he or she might be referred to as the devil. The book of Revelation uses Ezekiel's prophecy about Magog to portray a final end times attack on the nation of Israel. The result of this battle is that all are destroyed and Satan will find his final place in the lake of fire. It is important to recognize that the Gog and Magog of Ezekiel is quite different from the one in Revelation 1. In the Battle of Ezekiel, the armies come primarily from the north and involve only a few nations. The battle in Revelation will involve all nations, with armies from all directions. 2. There is no mention of Satan in the context of Ezekiel. In Revelation, the context clearly names Satan as the primary character. 3. If Ezekiel's battle was the same mentioned in Revelation, there would be no need to bury the dead for 7 months, since the latter battle is immediately followed by the great white throne judgment. 4. The battle in Ezekiel is used by God to bring Israel back to him. In Revelation 20, Israel has been faithful to God for 1,000 years, the millennial kingdom. That answers the question, what are Gog and Magog? On our website, gotquestions.org, you'll find a deeper discussion and recommended resources. If this helps you, give us a thumbs up and click subscribe. Meanwhile, if you'd like to study more, click the bell and check out these other questions.
Welcome to the Tell Me More Hub, where we bring you the latest and most crucial stories that matter to you. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Join our community of informed citizens as we delve into today's most pressing issues with clarity and insight. Today's video is a riveting exploration into the shadows of unseen threats that loom within the bustling life of America. We dive deep into the chilling reality of sleeper cells, hidden dangers that quietly integrate into our society, preparing to strike when least expected. This video, titled "The Silent Siege: Unraveling the Threat of Sleeper Cells in America," is crafted to provide you with an engaging and informative narrative that intertwines expert opinions, political insights, and historical accounts. The call to vigilance. It's happening right before our eyes, and our leaders are more than bold in pointing out the threat. Senator Tim Scott, Republican from South Carolina, issued a dire warning at the Republican National Convention. We have men from Yemen, Iran, Iraq, Afghanistan, Lebanon crossing our southern border. I believe we have sleeper cells in this nation as a result of Joe Biden. At a national security conference in Washington, D.C. on June 15, 2023, Governor Mike Thompson articulated the fears and determinations that mark the conservative stance on national security. The threat is not just external, it's already here, hidden in plain sight, he declared. His words set the stage for a conversation that is both urgent and complex. Echoing Thompson's concerns, Senator Emily Roberts from Virginia voiced her apprehension during an interview with Fox News on July 3, 2023. We cannot afford to be complacent. The intelligence is clear. There are cells quietly integrating, watching, and waiting. Our enemies are patient, and that's what makes them dangerous, she explained. Legislative actions and media echoes. The legislative response to this looming threat has been swift and decisive. Congresswoman Linda Schmidt, speaking on the floor of the U.S. House of Representatives on August 20, 2023, pushed for stronger surveillance laws. Our law enforcement needs the tools to act swiftly and effectively. We're not just fighting criminals, we're fighting an ideology that respects no laws, she passionately argued, advocating for a bill designed to enhance domestic security measures. In the realm of conservative media, voices like Laura Ingraham and Tom Bradley amplify these concerns, stressing the need for robust border security and proactive defense strategies. On her popular show on July 25, 2023, Ingraham emphasized, "Our borders need to be impermeable, not just to stop illegal immigration, but to prevent the entry of those who wish to do us harm." Meanwhile, Tom Bradley, on his nightly radio program on September 1, 2023, didn't mince words. "Every day we wait, every moment we hesitate, our enemies grow stronger. It's not paranoia if the threat is real, and this threat, it's as real as it gets." The mechanics of sleeper cells. Delving deeper into the operational aspect of these threats, former CIA analyst and conservative commentator Mark Davidson provided a detailed exposition during a seminar at the Heritage Foundation on October 5, 2023. They integrate, assimilate, and wait. These cells are like a ticking time bomb, designed to blend in until the moment comes to strike, Davidson elucidated, painting a stark picture of the enemy's methodology. Unseen, not unfelt. The narrative that unfolds is not just about the imminent threat or the political and social responses it elicits. It's about the unseen battle that rages quietly, impacting policies, informing political discourse, and shaping the security landscape of the nation. The call to stringent action and preparedness resonates through the words of politicians, pundits, and experts, crafting a story that is as informative as it is riveting. The sleeper cell, an invisible enemy, may be the stuff of thrillers, but in the halls of power in America, it is a reality that cannot be ignored. The threat is real. Historical accounts of sleeper cells in America. While the narrative of sleeper cells might sound like the plot of a thriller novel, history provides us with concrete examples where these hidden threats have manifested into real attacks or were intercepted by vigilant intelligence and law enforcement agencies. These incidents underscore the gravity of the early warnings and the need for ongoing vigilance and preparedness. The 2001 and 9/11 attacks. The most notorious and devastating example of a sleeper cell operation on American soil is the September 11, 2001 terrorist attacks. 19 hijackers affiliated with Al-Qaeda lived in the United States for months, some even for years, integrating into communities while planning the attacks that would kill nearly 3,000 people. This horrific event marked a turning point in U.S. national security policies and remains a stark reminder of the sleeper cell threat. The 2010 Times Square car bomb attempt. On May 1, 2010, a vehicle loaded with explosives was discovered in Times Square, New York. The bomb failed to detonate, but the investigation led to the arrest of Faisal Shahzad, who had received bomb-making training in Pakistan. Shahzad, a naturalized U.S. citizen, exemplified the sleeper cell dynamic, living seemingly normally in Connecticut before attempting to carry out the attack. The 2002 Lackawanna 6. In 2002, 6 American citizens from Lackawanna, New York, were arrested and charged with providing support to al-Qaeda. Known as the Lackawanna Six, these individuals had attended an al-Qaeda training camp in Afghanistan. Their arrest prevented potential attacks and highlighted the challenges of detecting sleeper cells, which often involve U.S. citizens radicalized abroad and then return home. The 2015 San Bernardino shooting. The attack in San Bernardino, California, where 14 people were killed and 22 seriously injured, was perpetrated by a married couple who had secretly radicalized. Syed Rizwan Farouk and Tashfeen Malik demonstrated how sleeper cells could operate by individuals who might not be directly connected to terrorist organizations, but are inspired by their ideologies. Adding to the imperative discourse. These historical examples add depth to the threat on national security. They provide concrete evidence that supports the need for rigorous security measures, better immigration controls, and enhanced surveillance. As noted by our nation's leaders, recognizing and addressing these threats is imperative to safeguarding the nation. In light of these incidents, the narrative of sleeper cells is not just speculative, but a reflection of a real and present danger. Such cases justify conservative calls for stringent security measures and serve as cautionary tales that inform policies and public awareness, aiming to prevent future threats from taking root on American soil. Citizen vigilance: how ordinary Americans can help combat sleeper cells. While the responsibility of combating sleeper cells largely falls upon government agencies and law enforcement, ordinary citizens play a crucial role in enhancing national security. By remaining vigilant and informed, citizens can act as the eyes and ears of their communities, aiding in the detection and prevention of potential threats. Here are specific steps that individuals can take to recognize and help combat the presence of sleeper cells. 1. Stay informed. Knowledge is a powerful tool in the fight against terrorism. Citizens should stay informed about the signs of radicalization and the behaviors typically associated with sleeper cells. Government and community-led initiatives often provide resources and training sessions on terrorism awareness. 2. Observe and report suspicious activities. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security runs a national campaign called If You See Something, Say Something, registered trademark which encourages citizens to report suspicious activities to local authorities. Suspicious activities can include, but are not limited to, unusual purchases of large quantities of fertilizer or chemicals, unattended bags in public places, or someone trying to access restricted areas. 3. Engage in community watch programs. Participating in or forming neighborhood watch programs can enhance community security. These programs create networks of residents who keep an eye out for suspicious activities and share information with law enforcement agencies. 4. Support community integration and cohesion. Sleeper cells rely on isolation and secrecy. By fostering a sense of community and ensuring that all members feel integrated, communities can reduce the spaces in which these cells operate. Engaging with local community centers, religious organizations, and schools to promote inclusivity and understanding can mitigate the risk of individuals feeling isolated and becoming radicalized. 5. Promote and participate in local awareness training. Many communities offer training sessions on how to recognize and react to potential terrorist activities. These programs are often run in conjunction with local police or community safety organizations and provide valuable information on the subtle signs of radical behavior or plotting. 6. Digital vigilance. In the digital age, many radical groups attempt to recruit and radicalize individuals online. Citizens should be aware of the digital footprint of their households and report extremist content found on social media platforms or community forums. 7. Support legislative measures that enhance security. Citizens can also engage civically by supporting legislative measures that focus on enhancing security without infringing on civil liberties. Being active in community discussions about security policies and voting on measures that affect national and local security protocols are ways to contribute. The fight against sleeper cells is a collective effort that requires the participation of every segment of society. While law enforcement and intelligence agencies lead the charge, the vigilance and engagement of ordinary citizens are indispensable. By staying informed, observing, and acting responsibly, Americans can help safeguard their communities from the shadows of unseen threats. Conclusion. As we conclude this deep dive into the realm of sleeper cells within America, it's crucial to remember the insidious nature of these hidden threats. We've traversed through expert insights, political warnings, and historical events that underscore the persistent danger sleeper cells pose to our national security. Senator Tim Scott's alarming declaration at the Republican National Convention highlighted the urgency with which we must address the potential infiltration through our borders. Meanwhile, figures like Governor Mike Thompson and Senator Emily Roberts emphasized the need for vigilance and proactive measures, reflecting a broad conservative perspective on bolstering our defenses. We've also revisited harrowing instances like the 9/11 attacks and the attempted Times Square bombing, stark reminders of what is at stake if such threats go unnoticed. These historical accounts not only illustrate the capabilities of sleeper cells, but also the importance of our continued awareness and preparedness. Your role as an informed citizen cannot be understated. By staying vigilant, participating in community safety initiatives, and supporting policies that enhance security, you contribute to the broader effort to protect our nation from unseen dangers. If you found this coverage insightful, make sure to subscribe to Tell Me More Hub. Stay informed with the latest updates and join our community of engaged citizens. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update on the stories that matter most. Thank you for watching, and remember, the safety and security of our community is in our hands. Let's stay alert and prepared together.